and let's go to part 2. So we're gonna give a brief introduction about storage option because we have like 2 days for the storage option. So we have 4 storage options. We have EBS, we have Instant Store, we have EFS, and S3 bucket. So basically, EBS is our hard drives. We're gonna talk about it more. We have, I think, 6 kinds: GP2, GP3, IO1, IO2, and we have a cold, and we have another one. Those are HHDs. An instance store is related to EC2 instance, so this comes with EC2 instance by default. It's a temporary block level storage for instance, so like EBS, but this is persistent and this is temporary. S3 or simple storage service is an object storage service. We're going to talk about it in our S3 lecture. And EFS is a file storage that is compatible with Linux or POSIX system, POSIX system. So we're going to dig deep dive into these. Also, we have FSX, which is also file systems, but for third-party softwares. We're going to talk about them a lot. So let's go to monitoring. So we have CloudWatch, ELB, and ASG. For these 3, we have also lectures. We have a lecture for ELB and SAG together, and we have a lecture for CloudWatch and CloudTrade together. So CloudWatch gives us the opportunity. So here, if we enter the CloudWatch, we're going to see that we can monitor our resources and their health. So this gives us the ability to keep an eye on our resources. Also ELB, which is Elastic Load Balancer. So it gives us the ability here. You can see that in Alarm, we have, what do we have in Alarm? I don't remember. Target tracking in Alarm. Okay, I think I need to remove these. That's fine. So here we have all alarms that we have. Okay, we have 3 states. Yes. Insufficient data in alarm and okay. So this enables us to monitor our resources so we can know if our EC2 instances are failing. Are they okay? They give us information about their health. Auto scaling group is for scaling purposes, so automatically horizontal scale our EC2 instance, and ELB, it distributes traffic that's coming across our multiple EC2 instances, so it distributes traffic. We're going to talk about them more. So we have 4 types of elastic load balancer. We have application load balancer, ALB. We have NLB, which is network load balancer, and we have, this is GWLB, so gateway load balancer. Also, we're going to talk about them in depth. This is not important, which is CLB. This was a classic load balancer. It's not, it's retired. You can't use this anymore. It was on my exam, but I don't think it's in the exam, so I'm not going to talk about it in our ELB or elastic load balancer session. So we're going to talk about the ALB, the application, the network, and the gateway load balancer. Okay, and pricing and cost. So this is a bit long. So we have more than 4, but one of the most important are 4. So in-demand, spot instance, reserved instances, and saving plan. So I got them in a table for you. So here we can see that on-demand is the way we have launched our instance right now. It's you only pay for the compute capacity that you're using. It's pay as you go. There's no commitment, and you're very flexible with anything you want. So there is full flexibility, and you get billing here. You can see that per second billing, so minimum of 60 seconds. So it has to be running for at least 1 minute. The use cases for on-demand is short-term, spiky, or unpredictable workloads that cannot be interrupted. So please check out the cannot be interrupted. This comes on the exam very mostly, this and spot instances. So on-demand, the difference between on-demand and spot instances, that spot instances can handle workloads that can be interrupted. Okay. So reserved is literally the reserved instances, you reserve your own instance and it can give you up to 75% discount. You have a commitment of 1 to 3 years, and you have less flexibility over the things you need for a steady state or predictable usage. So let's say we need three minimum, or at least three virtual machines running all the time, so we can get them reserved for a discount of 75%. You can pay either upfront, like full upfront, or partial upfront, or no upfront. So we have three ways of paying those. And saving plans are like reserved, but the difference is you can use, like here you can see that you can use, you can have more flexibility over the instance family, sizes, availability zones, regions, operating system, and tenancy. So the difference between reserved, here you get a full virtual machine with less flexibility. This is more flexible. You get to use how many per hour. So here you can see commitment to consistent amount of hours. So this is for you, doesn't matter what hour you need, and this is you pay by the hour, but you have to commit to over 1 year or 3 years, and it gives you up to 72% discount compared to on-demand instances. So spot instances, I like to call this, this is like the spot instances come a lot in a lot of questions. So it's like you bid on something. So let me draw you another one. I'm drawing another board. So reconnecting, connecting, restored. Great. So let's say we have this diagram and we have this line. So this is the on-demand. So this is the price of on-demand. So let's say someone came right here and paid for on spot. So this is spot instances. It's like bidding literally. So you get, if on demand was like 10 cents, you get this for like 5 cents, less more. So if someone came and like came here and he gave a higher bidding close to the on demand, so this is B1, which is the bidding one, and this is B2. So if someone gave a higher bidding close to the on-demand graph, he takes the spot instances. So here you have like 2 minutes until it shut down, so 2 minutes, and then he will have the instance to himself. So this is spot instances. You're literally bidding on stuff. So there is no commitment. You have flexibility like on demand. You can choose whatever you want. The problem is, but can be interrupted. So here you can see that it's up to 90% discount suitable for flexible fault-tolerant workloads. You can see here that spot instances for workloads that can be interrupted. So please put that in mind. So can be interrupted. Also, dedicated host and dedicated instance, they have, dedicated host have a 1 to 3 year commitment. They're flexible but limited to specific use cases, and these help you with regulatory or a compliance requirement. So this is where you have a physical server to yourself. So let's say AWS, like your own data center, you're literally hosting your own data center, but AWS manage it for you. A dedicated instance, let's give an example of a dedicated instance. So let me like exit. It's not exiting for some reason. Okay, here it is. So there's this thing in cloud called a multi-tenancy. So if we have here, this is our virtual layer, and every customer have a share of their virtual layer. So here's C1, customer 1, C2, C3, and C4. This is virtual layer. So this is called multi-tenancy because multiple clients are using and sharing the same resource, but they have separated data and separated everything, so they're separated. But they're using the same physical hardware, let's say, so it's multi-tenant. Dedicated instance is you have this, but your own self. So you have your own, you have only one customer on your virtual level. The difference between this dedicated instances and dedicated hosts, This is you have the complete control over your physical server. This not. You only use the virtualized uh, virtualized layer. Okay, so best practices and recommendations I would give for security best practices, you can use rules, IAM rules. We have talked about rules to control access. This is more suited for EC2 instance, so please use rules, not users. And you have to regularly update and patch your AMIs and use security group effectively, like we have seen in our HTTP and HTTPS rules. For performance, we can use the right instance for the right use case. We can use an auto-scaling group, and then we can use it with CloudWatch alarms. We're gonna use that in our CloudWatch lecture. For cost, we can use reserved and spot instances and saving plans. Here you can see we also can take advantage of saving plans, and we can regularly review and adjust resources. So we have this thing called what is it called? I have forgot. It's something related to cost. So let me go to services. Advisor, yeah. It's called AWS Advisor. So let's see. Trusted Advisor. So we have this thing called a Trusted Advisor where this can help you this can give you advice on the AWS pillars. Let's see. So here we have cost optimization. I think, yes, I have to upgrade it so I can see cost optimization. But here you can see that we have a few stuff that can help us see with the performance, with security, fault tolerance. These are the pillars of AWS. So we can review them either using the billing. Here, if you want you to billing or cost, is it called cost or billing? So let's go to billing and cost management. Here you can see and monitor your usage of different AWS services. So it's a global service, of course. Of course, it's gonna be a global service. So here we can see life costs and everything we can see. So here we can see I have approximately. Why is it 9,000% higher? That's weird. Okay, here we can see our bill. And everything we need, kind of like literally everything we need. So yeah. So here we can see that it's virtual private cloud that's taking 1 cent from us. That's fine. Okay, guys. So it was a very long lecture, and I really thank you for joining in and checking out our EC2 lecture. Let me stop the recording.